Welcome back to my workshop. Now today we're going to review another tool. We're going to unbox this, have a quick first look at it and give it a try. Now this is another tool in the Stanley Fatmax V20 range. I've done numerous videos in the past on the V20 range, all at my own expense, I'll have you know. But if you want to see them, there's a playlist here. Very good watch. Okay, so what have we got here? Now what we've got is a Stanley Fatmax SDS Drill. Okay, so this again is in the V20 range. It's actually an SFMCH900M12 GB. Okay, because I'm in the UK, obviously. First of all, let's have a look and see what's in the box. Well, actually, first we'll look at the box. It's different. Okay, so firstly, looking at the box, this is much more rugged looking than the normal Stanley Fatmax V20 range. To give you an example, okay, here's a couple of the others I've reviewed in the past. Now these ones are just a normal blow molded case. This one is smooth. I've got another one over there, which is, it's got like a textured finish on it, but this is a fairly simple case, standalone case with metal clips. Okay, if we look at the new one, which is this one here, okay, it's much more ruggedized, but it's actually part of this, which is the T-stack system. Okay, now I haven't got any of the other T-stack systems, so I can't actually try them, but it looks like they do a whole range of boxes for various different Stanley Fatmax tools. This might be worth looking into. Okay, I mean at the moment obviously I use a competitor, which is obviously over here. Okay, you probably all recognise those, but this looks like a good rugged alternative. Okay, especially for me because I'm invested in the Stanley Fatmax V20 range. Anyway, right, so the case itself, if we look on the case here, it goes through a few details about the actual tool. Now, ironically, it doesn't say on the front of the box what the tool is. It says it on the back. Okay, it gives you a model number here. Okay, just so you know what's in it. But on the front, it does have a picture, so you know what you're getting. Okay, as usual, Stanley Fatmax, a nice little picture of the device. Some information about the battery. Okay, the improved battery life, longer battery life, minimal self-discharge, no memory effect, etc, etc. Now this is a brushless device, okay, which obviously gives you more power, more runtime, and a compact motor. Okay, so in theory it should be a little bit lighter. Now this maximum 1500 RPM, 2.0 joules, and 4 amp hour. Okay, so that's obviously the battery. Okay, and then obviously the Stanley Fatmax website. Okay, as we just quickly looked at, we got a Stanley Fatmax T-stack system label. Okay, we'll cut that off, we don't really need that, but I will look into that. As usual, we've got a little cable tie here. We'll cut that off so we can actually get inside. Looking at the front here, you've got this T-stack plastic trim here. Now this can come off, you can put your name in there, or if you're a business you can put the name of your business, okay, just to identify it's yours. Metal clips, which are very nice. These look slightly more rugged than the previous ones. Okay, these were the previous ones. Okay, but these ones are a little bit more rugged. Okay, we've got a handle on the top, which is, it depends on how you want to carry it. It's quite nice. And we've also got one on the front here. Okay, so you can carry it horizontally or vertically. On these bits here, this obviously is where the T-stack system comes in. This will clip to another T-stacking case. Okay, and obviously on here, if you put it on top of another T-stacking case, this is where it clips to. So yeah, I think that looks a lot more rugged than previous cases. I'm going to still leave all of these in their original cases. They don't interlock with these, but I'll think about that. Right, let's have a look and see what's inside the case. Ooh. Right, let's get it all out. Right, so quickly going through what we get here. We get some information about the guarantee. We get an instruction booklet. We get one 4-amp hour battery. Okay, one battery charger, the body with a handle, and also the case. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll quickly look at these one at a time and see what they're like. Right, first off, we get the really exciting stuff. This is the Stanley Fatmax guarantee. Obviously, you get a 1-year guarantee regardless of what you do. Then you can get a 3-year extended guarantee when you register your tool with the My Stanley website. Okay, definitely worth doing. I do that to all my Stanley Fatmax tools just to be on the safe side. Okay, that's the guarantee. Here we got a little instruction booklet. Again, it's the SFMCH900. This actually just shows you a picture with some numbers, how to do stuff, how to charge the battery, checking the battery, inserting the battery, removing the battery, and how to fit the handle. Also, it covers a little bit, because this is an SDS drill, it covers a bit about how to insert the drill bits, and what you've got in the way of control, either drill, hammer, or hammer drill, or just hammer. Okay, we've got a safety lock, a trigger, and then it tells you how to use it. Obviously, if you're looking at this video, you probably know how to use it anyway. There's some interesting stuff about work and safety, so passing over that quickly. Some information about the battery and how it charges. And finally, some specifications. Let's have a quick look at these. Okay, so this is obviously regarding the drill. Input voltage. Now we've got the SFMCH900M12. Okay, so it's this column here. Input voltage 18. No load speed 0 to 1500. No load beats per minute 0 to 5500. Single impact energy. Okay, that's how hard it's going to punch. Okay. 2.0, that's 2.0 joules. Weight is 2.9 kilograms. Okay, now there's a different couple of models here. I haven't looked into what they are, but I assume they're slightly different kits. Okay, maximum drilling capacity for this particular one in concrete, 22 millimeters, steel, 13 millimeters, wood, 30 millimeters. That should be more than enough for what I want to use it for. Battery, in this case, it's 18 volts. Capacity amp hours is 1.5, 2, 4, or 6. Now, obviously, I've got the 4 amp hour battery in this one. And the type of battery is lithium ion. Okay, and then a little bit about the charger. And then a little bit over here about sound level and vibration. Okay, probably not interested in that, and we'll actually make a judgment on how good that is. Okay, so that's all the instructions. Nice blank page. Right, let's move on to the next bit. Okay, next we have the battery charger. Standard Stanley Fatmax battery charger. If you've seen any of my other videos, you may be able to skip forward over this bit. But if you're not, if it's your first time here, this battery charger fits the V20 range, okay, which is this type of battery. Okay, it gives you an indication here. These two lights here, we've got a red one and a green one. If it's a green flashing light when you've got a battery inserted, that means it's charging if it's flashing. If it's a solid light, that means it's fully charged. If it's a flashing green light with a red light also, it means there's possibly a temperature issue with the battery when you put it on charge. So if you've been using the battery a lot and it's actually got quite warm, it may have to cool down first before it starts charging. This is just to protect the battery and obviously the charger as well. Okay, on the back we have a couple of little screw locations here if you want to mount it onto the wall. Okay, 3.5 inches apart. So in theory you could mount that on the wall. This is the type of charger it is, SFMCH900M12. Okay, so type 1, 230 volts, 50 hertz at half an amp. Output 15 volts at 2 amps. Okay, so that means that is good enough to charge the 4 amp hour battery and also the 2 amp hour battery that you can buy separately. Okay, the cable, I think I've measured this previously. This is about 1.2 meters long. Okay, in this case, it's got a standard UK plug, 3-pin plug, probably the best ones in the world. Okay, comes fitted with a fuse. Okay, and obviously about just over a meter's worth of cable. Okay, so this is for the battery. To use the battery charger, it's a simple case of plugging it in. Take your battery once you need it charging, slide it in, okay, and then it'll indicate what it's doing, charging or fully charged. Okay, to remove it from the charger, push the button and then pull it out. Okay, simple, easy peasy. We'll try that in a minute after we looked at this. Okay, this is a standard Stanley Fatmax V20 4 amp hour lithium ion battery. Okay, it's obviously got the locating device there. Okay, so when you put it into the tool, it won't fall out again. On here, we got battery indication. Okay, this one's only got 1 light. Okay, so this needs charging. This is straight out of the box. As I say, 4 amp hours. Now this one, obviously it's got a part number, which is SFMCH900M12, which is an 18 volt. Okay. One more thing on here. Here you've got a manufacture date. Okay, you may need that at some point. Right. That obviously fits in the charger. And so does a 2 amp hour battery. I just happen to have one here. Okay, they're exactly the same. They all fit in the same charger. Okay, and this charger will charge both. Right, let's quickly plug this in and see if we can get some charge in that battery while we look at the others. Okay, so the charger is now plugged in. It's no lights on at the moment because there's obviously no battery in it. This is the battery that comes with the kit. Let's quickly slide that in. Okay, and you can see here, obviously it's charging. So what I'm going to do, leave that to charge while we look at the body of the drill. Okay, so looking at the main body of the drill, you obviously get the drill body itself, you get a handle, and you also get a depth indicator. I'll show you how those two work in a second. But first, let's look over this. Standard yellow Stanley Fatmax body. Okay, this is all plastic. Is this bit plastic? No, this bit looks like it's metal. Okay, V20 Stanley Fatmax brushless. Okay, it tells you it's brushless on here, just in case you forget. Rubberized handle and rubberized on the top and also around the bottom here. So anywhere you're touching, it'll be rubberized. Also the same on the handle. The rubberized bit is where you touch. Okay. On the front here, obviously you've got the part where you insert the drill bit. I'll show you that in a second. On the side here, you've got your function rotation knob. Okay, and you can go from drilling, then hammer drill, and then just hammer. Okay, so drilling would be normal drilling, as obviously. Hammer drill, normally when you're going into brick, concrete, or something quite nasty to get into. And then just normal hammer, because you can actually use this as a chisel as well. Okay, and I'll quickly show you that in a moment. Okay, moving along the body here, you've got a trigger. Right, quickly looking at the trigger lock here. Okay, when the trigger is in the middle, or when this lever is in the middle, okay, the trigger is locked. I've just quickly put a battery on it so you can see this. If you push it to the right, okay, it goes that way. Okay, so whichever way you look at it, this way, it's obviously going clockwise. Then if you push the trigger the other way, it goes the other way. Okay, so this is not only a lock, it's also a direction. Okay, and you can also notice there the trigger is controllable. Okay, so you can go quite slow or quite fast. Right, that's the trigger lock. That's fairly simple. On the bottom here, this is obviously where the battery gets inserted. If you look in there very carefully, let's see if I can actually get so you can see it. Okay, etched into the plastic, you can actually see a manufacturer date. Okay, you'll need that information when you register your tool on the Stanley Fatmax website. Okay, God, that's blurry. That's better. On the other side, you've got obviously the some information about the type of drill it is. Okay, again, and obviously where it's made, Belgium, and it's made in China. Okay, not much else to see on the body of the machine. There's a little screw hole here. This is obviously for a belt hook, which doesn't come in the kit, but if you was to hang this on your belt, you'd probably pull your trousers down. Right, let's have a quick look at these two bits and pieces here. Okay, you've got a depth gauge and you've got the handle. Now, to fit this handle is fairly simple. You turn it anti-clockwise to loosen it off. Okay, and then you literally slide it over the first collar and then tighten it up. Okay, right, so that's now in. Okay, so you can obviously hold it like this. Okay, you can also rotate it in a sort of pistol grip kind of fashion. Okay, depends on how you want to use it and what angle you're going into your workpiece. This section here, a little push button here, this is where this comes into play. Now if you look on this, it's just made of plastic, obviously Stanley yellow. On one side it's got increments of millimeters, and on the other side it's got increments of inches. Okay, and all you do is you literally push this button and you slide this into here. Okay, release the button and it locks in. Okay, and what you can do is you can use that as a gauge as to how deep you've actually drilled the hole. This is only plastic, so if you abuse it, you will break that. But none of you abuse your tools, do you? So you'll be fine. Let's try and get a battery on that. Right, to install the battery, it really couldn't be simpler. You take your battery here, obviously with the catch to the front of the machine, and you literally just slot it in. Okay, it clicks in. You don't have to bang it in place like, you know, like this. It's not a, you know, magazine in some fancy war film. All you're doing is you're putting the battery in. You don't need to slam it in. Okay, most of the time I would recommend pushing the button in while you do it, and it will save getting broken. Okay, once that's in, obviously then the machine becomes live. Pull the trigger. Okay, safety catch, and okay, so you can see there, this is going round because I've got it on drill. If I put it on hammer drill, it should also go round. But you can actually hear it hammering this time. Okay, and if I just put it onto the bottom setting here, which is just hammer, this shouldn't go round, but you'll still hear it hammering. Okay, so they're the three basic functions. Now obviously that's all you get in the kit, that the charger, the battery, etc. You don't actually get any drills with this. So let's quickly have a look at some SDS drills and I'll explain the difference. Right, so what's an SDS drill? Right, this is a conventional drill, okay, and if you look, the shaft, okay, the shaft is normally just smooth, okay, there's nothing on it. It's normally got, as you can see here, it's got the diameter of the drill, but this is smooth, okay, similar to if you're using it for wood. This is also smooth, okay. But an SDS drill, I've got this little kit here, which is a fairly cheap kit. But I'll pull this out. Now this has got these keyways on it. But if you look at an SDS drill, okay, it's got various cutouts on the actual shaft, okay. So we've got a long cutout that side, a long cutout that side. And then on the sides here, we've got some little divots, okay. Now, obviously these long ones, these are where it locates into the drill, and these ones are where a little ball bearing will sit. Okay, so a ball bearing sits. You can't see any of this in the in the drill, but the ball bearing sits in here and it allows it to go backwards and forwards. Okay, so it allows it to move this much, which is much better than a traditional hammer drill. Okay, so you get a lot more energy getting transferred into the drill bit. Okay, so that's the basic differences between an SDS drill and a standard drill. Okay, so how do we fit these? Okay, so on a conventional drill with this standard type of smooth chuck, all you would do is you would literally insert your drill into the drill, okay, and then tighten it up. Okay, then that's tight. It's enough to drill into whatever you're drilling into, but this is relying on the grip and the friction of the chuck. Now, obviously, the chuck on the SDS is different. Okay, so looking at the chuck on the SDS drill, okay, it's got a little arrow here because there is a collar here that you push backwards. Okay, you don't necessarily need that to actually insert the drill. Now what you have to do is rotate the drill so those slots line up and then just push it in. Okay, once it's in, that's in. It's not coming out. Okay, so when you're drilling, it can move backwards and forwards this much. Okay, and when you want to remove the drill, all you do is you push the collar back. Let's try and do this so you can actually see. Pull the collar back and then you can remove the drill. Okay, so fairly simple operation. In, out. Yeah, that's really good. I mean, it's a lot less mucking about, and obviously you can transfer much more energy into the drill bit. Right, I think my battery here is still on charge over here. So what we'll do is I've got a pre-charged battery. Let's try and drill something. Before we actually start drilling into things, you might ask yourself, well, I've only got standard drill bits, which have got the smooth shafts. Okay, these are obviously not going to work in here. Okay, because there's no gripping function for a standard shaft. But what you can do, now this doesn't come in the kit, okay, but what you can do is you can buy something like this, okay, which is a chuck, but with an SDS shaft on it. Okay, so what you can do is then insert that into the drill and then you've got a conventional chuck. Okay, as I say, that doesn't come in this kit, but it's just a handy thing to know. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so that's now plugged in. Okay, and you've got a conventional chuck here, which you can, obviously this one is not a keyless chuck, but it then turns it into a conventional chuck. Okay, it's quite long, but don't not buy one of these just because you've only got standard drills. Okay, you can get these things. I don't think they're very expensive, but probably a handy addition to your toolkit. And again, same again, removing it if we can. Okay, all right, so this may be something to look into. Right, now let's drill something. Okay, some of my usual viewers will know that I've already done a review on an SDS drill some time ago. Now this is quite a few years ago. I did an SDS drill review on a Titan, which is this thing. Okay, it's massive. Okay, it's really good, and I still use it regularly. Okay, but it does weigh a ton, and for anything really heavy duty, I will probably still use this. Okay, but obviously the Stanley is look, it's yeah, this thing is heavy. Okay, obviously it has its benefits if I'm going into a really big lot of concrete for long periods of time, but most of the jobs I do, this will be more than enough. Okay, right, let's drill something. What I've got is a lump of concrete here. Okay, it's a bit of a paving slab. Okay, it's quite thick. How big is that? It's probably over 50 mil thick. Let's try and drill into it, and I'll also try and show you the chisel function. Right, can I put this down now? It's heavy. Okay, so as I say, I've got my paving slab section here. Okay, I'm going to use a 10mm SDS drill. Okay, literally just slide it in as we previously saw. And it's in. And I'm just going to drill a hole in it. I don't know how this is going to work, but it should be fine. Just check on my battery here. Yeah, fully charged. Let's give it a go. Don't forget your safety glasses. And wait, these are not my safety trainers. Let's get my safety trainers. Here's my safety trainers. Steel toe caps. Let's get these on my feet. Right, now got my safety trainers on. Right, let's give this a bit of a drill. Okay, I'm going to set it to hammer drill. Okay, and let's see how far we get. Well, that was easy. It's gone all the way through. It's actually blasted out the back of it, look. Okay, that was easy. Let's try that again to make sure that wasn't a fluke. Three, two, one. Yeah, again, nice. Right, so that obviously made fairly light work of that. Now this is blown out the back on this one. This is a bit useless anyway, this piece of broken paving slab. But it just proves it goes through it, no problem at all. As I say, let's measure that. Okay, that's about 50 mil deep. Okay, and it went through that, no trouble at all. Okay, so that's drilling. I won't carry on drilling holes in walls because you know how to drill a hole. But what I want to show you now is the chisel function. Okay, I've got a chisel, which is an SDS chisel. Let me show you that now. Okay, so what I've got here, a couple of different types of chisel. Okay, I've got this like cold chisel type. Okay, I'm going to try and use that. Again, it's got an SDS end on it. This obviously doesn't come in the kit. But it's just to show you its function. I've also got one of these, which is also a chisel, but I use this one for removing tiles. Okay, so this will be quite good for removing tiles. Same again, SDS bit on the end. Okay, let's use this and see if I can break that into pieces. Okay, with the old drill, insert the chisel. Right, let's break this thing. Right, obviously for this we want to break it, so we just want it on hammer action. Okay, in this case that's pointing right the way down. Okay, just hammer. Right, see what happens. Right, let's see if we can break off this corner. Oh, comes off in bits. Oh, it broke down the middle. That's what I tried just now. All right, let's try again. Let's break this bit in half. Lovely job. Well, that works. Right, before we call it a day, let's have a quick look at this. Now, although this has got markings on it, okay, in inches and in centimetres, you've got to remember, if you're going to use this as a depth stop, the chuck will move this much anyway. Okay, so the accuracy of this is slightly questionable, but it can be good as an approximate guide. Okay, so don't rely on this for any precision engineering. You know, if you wanted to drill a hole 52 millimeters deep, this is probably not going to work because obviously this goes backwards and forwards. But one way to do it would be to push that in as far as it goes, then insert your guide into the clip here. Okay, and if you move your drill up to whatever you're going to be drilling into, okay, then you can actually measure the difference between this point and this point. Okay, so in this case, I haven't set it for anything. That's about 50 mil. So the idea is when you're actually drilling into something, okay, you'll drill into it like this up to that point. Okay, so as an approximation, this is probably a good little indicator, but don't rely on it for, you know, very precise work. Right, I think that'll do. Right, so that's about it for this one. This was a look at the Stanley Fatmax SFMCH900M12, okay, which is an SDS V20 drill. Okay, I think it's going to be great for the workshop. It's, as I say, it's slightly lighter than this gargantuan thing here. Okay, and it's obviously capable of drilling into concrete. It will also be great for drilling into wood. But as I say, you can buy accessories like the little chuck. They don't come with the kit. It's worth getting a selection of different chisels and drills. This set was a little cheapy set that I bought from a supermarket. But that'll be fine for me if, you know, I just want to drill a hole, stick a raw plug in it, then this will be great. Okay, all in all, I think this is a great bit of kit. Okay, I'm looking forward to using it a bit more. In this kit, you obviously get the case, which is the T-stack version of the case. I'm going to look into that. I may get invested in that, considering I'm already invested in the V20 range. Okay, you get the case, you get the body, and you get one 4-amp hour battery. Okay, to me, that's a good kit. It was £229. It's now £114 from Toolstation in the UK. Okay, so they do discounts. It's now October in 2024. Right, that will do for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. One, two, three. And you've got these ones here, which they're going to stay in my fingernails. I've been gardening, okay? Okay, some of you might... Push.